Welcome back. You're still watching Market View. Onto this now. The festive season makes way for increased consumer spending and the risk of unfair business practices. This week, the Eswatini Competition Commission will initiate the National Consumer Protection Campaign to promote fair market conduct and, of course, help consumers make informed purchasing decisions. The Commission's Advocacy and Communications Manager, Mangoba Mabuza, joins me now in studio to unpack how the Consumer Protection Act works and what it means for both businesses and consumers. Mr. Mabuza, thank you so much for your time. Perhaps you could just give us some of the provisions of the Consumer Protection Act.
All right, thanks, Natsile. It's actually the Eswatini the Competition Act of 2007 that stipulates that products should not be harmful to consumers, and they shouldn't. Shops cannot sell products that are detrimental to the health of consumers. And two, amongst others, there is a clause around deceptive advertisement. We are not supposed to present products to be of a certain quality, style or shape or whatever form when that is not so. And also, so we we are mandated as a commission to enforce that legislation, and also we use the Fair Trading Act of 2001 as well, which also protects consumers. And also, yeah, I think those are the pieces of legislation that we enforce as a commission. So basically, consumers are supposed to be protected at all costs with regards to what they buy. So what we have seen of late is that there are instances where consumers will go to a shop, they buy products, and then some of the shops are not allowing them to return the goods if they are not of the agreed upon standard.
Right.
Yeah.
Given some of the provisions of the Competition Act, what would you say are probably the key things that a consumer needs to know in terms of rights?
Yeah, the consumer, first and foremost, they need to pay particular attention to what the product is about. For instance, we have been in partnership with municipal councils. For instance, Municipal Council of Mbabane, Manzini, whereby we go around shops, inspecting shops, and we have destroyed a lot of quality. They are not supposed to be consumed by human beings. So in terms of the state that their products are in. So consumers must be able to look at products, scrutinize, and be sure as to what is it that they are buying. Secondly, they need to understand what is in the contract. You know, the slips that you need to keep those slips whenever you're buying, because that's a contract. If you're buying electronic gadgets, for instance, you must keep all the receipts, all the manuals, the information, the warrant, because if you are now coming to the commission to lodge a complaint, we'll need all those documents. We'll need to understand what is the contract, what is the agreement with the shop, and also they should know that they have a right to return goods if they are not of the quality that was actually stipulated, be it through advertisement or at the time of purchase. The shop or the seller can actually, you know, sometimes they say buy one get one free, and if you get into the shop, it's not buy one get one free, or they will just say the product now are finished. So there's a huge conversation in the world whereby customers will go to shops and find that it's not as advertised. Right. So they'll say no, the products now are finished, when in actual fact there was no such product in the first place. So consumers need to scrutinize, need to be aware of their rights. They, if that fails, the Competition Commission is there to make sure that we resolve these issues, so they have a right to come and lodge a complaint with the commission.
So the Act does say, with regards to returning goods, I have the right to return a particular good that I'm not happy with as a consumer. But the stores, they have policies of their own. So perhaps retailer 1 says you may return it within a certain period of time, and retailer 2 says we don't have a return policy. Does the law say there should be perhaps a standard policy or regulation around that?
Yes, I think, look, the consumer protection legislation is actually superior to whatever policies you may have as an outlet. So if those policies are not consistent with the law, so they are null and void, they cannot be used in terms of legally. So what we do, we actually use the Act and the regulations to look into these issues. And consumers, insofar as the law is concerned, they have a right to return. So no one can say, no, we are not taking it back, tatile, no. So I think now, because it's a Christmas season, a festive season, there's people are in a shopping mode. We just want to actually advise people to know these rights. They have the right to return products.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you consider this season as high risk, as the Commission, of course, and perhaps you could take us through the upcoming festive season campaign?
Yes, I think, look, we know that people are now in a shopping mode, as I've just said. They are getting checks and bonuses, and there's, for some reason, even if you don't have a 13 check or bonus, but for some reason, this is a season where people are just excited about buying. So the people are shopping. There's a lot of even outlets that may be actually may take advantage of taking products that are expired, for instance, looking at the volumes that they are supposed to sell now when people are coming in numbers, and just sell them. So those are some of the issues that we want to highlight as a commission now. We are launching a campaign on Thursday. We will be visiting consumers we'll be coming closer to consumers in Babane, in town, and also Eswatini town. We want to be able to interact with them as they buy products from the shops. We must we need to engage with them face to face. We must hear them out in terms of what they're experiencing from the shops, because it is a high risk in the sense that even electronic gadgets, people are buying. What we have seen as a commission, for instance, we have seen a number of cases around electronic gadgets. And you will know, because of it's a shopping season, people have got money and they're buying, and it's sales all over. So you can't just buy a product that is not going to work in the manner in which it is advertised. So that is why we are now wanting to get closer to the people, so that if we're launching a complaint, you don't need to do it by calling us or writing an email or coming to the offices. We just need to be around towns and engage with the people, lodge the complaint. They lodge a complaint, we investigate. Most of the time, we just resolve those issues amicably between the consumer and the shops.
Right. The Competition Act, what obligations does it place on businesses, whether retailers or in other sectors as well, not only during this period, but also just beyond, the festive season? And how does the Commission perhaps then ensure compliance or enforce compliance?
Yeah, also there's what is called the soft enforcement approach, which mostly is the advocacy initiatives. Right now, we are just educating business while we're here. We do it also through radio program. We have a weekly radio program, newspaper articles, reaching out to consumers at Tinkula level. That is soft enforcement. We're educating. We are also conducting workshops, bringing business on board in terms of raising awareness and educating them in terms of what the law stipulates. But the law also empowers us to resolve those issues. Most of the time, for instance, last year alone, the past financial year, out of 74, 73 of the cases were resolved amicably, successfully by the Commission. You buy a fridge, it's not working. They are not able to take it. They are refusing to take it back the shop. We come in, we facilitate, there's a conversation. The consumer is actually, their rights are considered, and we resolve it. But also we can carry out an investigation.
Yeah.
We are the secretariat as the staff of the Commission, and we take these investigations to the reports to the Board of Commissioners, which has got the adjudicative function. So they adjudicate and they act as judges on competition and consumer protection issues. So it can get into that level where the board has to pronounce itself on certain issues. But in most of the cases, they don't reach that stage because of the conversation and bringing together the consumers and the shops. Yeah.
Before enforcement, as the Commission, given the law, how do you then encourage or expect, rather, businesses to be running business this time of year?
Businesses must be, we know they are in the business of making money. They are making profit. That is the essence of a business. You want to make money. But it mustn't come at the expense of consumers who are either gullible or unsuspecting or not knowledgeable when it comes to their rights. So we just want to encourage them to be transparent and to act in accordance with integrity, accountability, transparency values as business, and also to adhere to the law in terms of the stipulations of the law. They mustn't advertise products. You must not advertise products in a manner that deceives the consumer. Deceptive advertisement is not allowed. They must also not sell products that are expired, products that are not as that in good quality, or that are detrimental to the health of consumers. So those are the things that they must know. Also, they should know that consumers have a right to return a product if they are not happy with its quality or whatever it takes. As long as I've not used the product, here's a phone, I'm getting with the phone at home, whatever, or it's a fridge, or sometimes if you buy a watch, they will say if it doesn't develop like any issues within 12 months, you can take it back to the shop. You'll find that there's an agreement, and if you return it, some of them will say that is not allowed. Those are the things that they should know as shops.
How can consumers then go about reporting unfair business practices, and then how soon does the Commission respond to that?
We'll respond immediately. So now we have got a WhatsApp number, which is 76062962. We respond immediately. So they can call, they can text, send a WhatsApp or a text message. We will respond immediately and we resolve issues. We resolve them. Like even now, there are investigators on the ground that are working, dealing with those issues. Exclusive, and our consumer protection department is busy with that at the moment. And through the festive campaign, we are not only sharing knowledge to consumers, but we are also saying they can come and lodge a complaint, and we are coming closer to them in the town to make things easier. For instance, if you are here in Babane, you are buying an electronic, or just buying any item really, because it's not just electronic gadgets, and it has got an issue. And if you are here now, we've got a pop-up stall here in Babane. You can just come to us quickly. We go to the shop, we resolve it immediately, and you are happy. So that's why we're coming closer to our consumers and even the shopping outlets, because we are not only we are fair. If the consumer is on the wrong, that's what our report will conclude. And sometimes they will say, don't put this watch in water, and you put it in water and it develops some issues, and then you bring it to us and say this shop is refusing. But if our investigation finds that you did not adhere to what was said by the shopping outlet, then you are on the wrong. The report will say that, and it's resolved that way. So it's not always that it will go to the it is not always going to favor the consumer, like at whatever cost it must know. It doesn't work like that.
In 30 seconds, I'd like for us to wrap it up. But my next one is actually my last one. Should probably be a reminder or a stern warning to businesses. What are the penalties or corrective measures that are provided under the Act or regulations that you've touched on, that when businesses violate consumer rights, these are then the consequences?
There are serious consequences. Look, if it gets into the board level, for instance, where they adjudicate a matter, there are penalties that will range to people going to jail, the directors of the company, or even being, if it's administrative fines, that can go up to 10% of their total annual turnover if they are found to be on the wrong. So it's serious. There are consequences in terms of the law. So it's just to warn anyone that is selling products that, look, they should be transparent, they should be clear in terms of processes, and they must respect the rights of consumers.
Mabuza, thank you very much for your time. To retailers, businesses, respect the rights of consumers. That was Mabuza, who is the Advocacy and Communications Manager at the Eswatini Competition Commission. We were discussing many other issues that include consumer protection, especially this season. As a consumer, you do need to know your rights. And for the businesses, deceptive marketing is discouraged. Market analysis coming up shortly.